For nearly a century, capitalism and communism polarized our world, creating two powerful rivals, the US and the USSR. The tensions between the two ideologies led to the construction of the Berlin Wall, the missile crisis in Cuba, the Vietnam War, and many more conflicts that leaders throughout the 20th century dealt with. This was until the Soviet Union came crashing down. So, in this epic battle between ideologies, why did communism fail and capitalism prevail? While in post-World War II USA, the economy began to bloom and an increasing number of products became available to consumers, in the USSR, hour-long lines formed in front of grocery stores that contained only very few and often poor quality items. These are images from a Soviet grocery store in 1986. In one word, the explanation for the disparity you see here is incentives. In the following video, filmed before the downfall of the USSR, a Russian economist explains why communism is simply not a viable system due to the lack of incentives.
People don't want to work. The people have no incentives. The economy inside which the people have no incentives have no future. So you can do two things. Take a gun and put this gun to his head like it was at the Stalin's time, or you have to give him incentives because he wants to improve the life of his family, and he can't.
In sum, workers see no real reason to work. We still see evidence of this essential communist failure, because the GDP per capita in Eastern European countries is still trailing that of Western countries. While Chile's GDP per capita grew immensely since 1960, Cuba remained exactly in the same place. This is strong evidence that an economy without incentives simply does not work. Communism is based on the beautiful idea that people should be motivated to work hard for the good of society as a whole. The sad truth is that this is simply not human nature. In the end, each individual wants to work to improve his own situation. And as grimly selfish as that sounds, this essential idea has been the motor behind immense developments we have seen in our world. When companies and individuals feel incentives to work hard, they do, which leads to competition and in turn innovation and improvements in quality of products and life in general. Though pure capitalism is certainly bad and can leave people out in the cold and hurt them, well-regulated capitalism is a system that undeniably leads societies into a better future. In North Korea, a country whose regime stands rigidly by the principles of communism, people face more than a terribly oppressive and terrorizing government. Because of the lack of incentives, free trade, and privately owned competing businesses, all traits of a capitalist system, people deal with starvation and very low quality of life. Thus, whether we look at our world's history, or at the few still living communist economies, it becomes clear that this ideology, designed to help the masses, only harms them. Capitalism, then, is the way to go.